war number 3 here of season 27, is it? Coming up against this alliance that I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of it. I wouldn't have a Scooby-Doo anyway. Just looking for it again. This is the team that I'm going to be using. So Dr. Doom, Quake, and Human Torch. And I'm going to be starting on path 5 in section 1. Got this Emma Frost as the first fight. So the main point of this fight is to knock them down to gain the Fury. Obviously with Emma Frost, she's a little bit more difficult for some people because you can't really stun or anything unless you've got your power control just right. Or you can just do what I kind of do here, and you just back up into the corner. Eventually we'll both get to the point of being in the corner here. You bait the heavy attack and then you instantly reply with the heavy attack, and that's that. If I would have had the Mr. Fantastic synergy with Dr. Doom here, Emma Frost would now be armor broken and the fight would be a little bit easier. It's not really too difficult anyway, but just if you had that synergy to help Dr. Doom, the fight would be a little bit easier. Then you could just parry stun them and go about your business as normal. But yeah, it's not too long. I lose a little bit more health than what I would have liked, just from having to take a little bit more block damage and me just being a bit stupid, but here going into this more, obviously they purposely put this here because of the heavy hitter node, so you've got to be able to reparry or just recognise the end of a medium. Moore's a bit of a weird defender right now. He's just had his second quote-unquote buff. His degen numbers seem to be hitting quite a bit harder than what they used to. And with him being a high ground defender, it means you can't just quake them, knock them down anymore and carry on like that. So yeah, it's just, here you go, here's the degen that I was talking about. So even with, one mission completed, it's still a good amount of health that's been taken off my rank 3 torch. Admittedly, I'm not boosted, so this is just natural HP loss, but it's still a good, 20 something %. And here you go, that's more finished there. Again, not a really difficult fight, just a longer, tedious one, and having to try and watch out for the degen a little bit more. I wasn't sure about using my pre-fight at any point because I had a few different fights that I could have used it on and decided that it wasn't worth it for more. And then we come up to Kingpin here. I'm just going to speed it up because it's just a Quake fight that has heavy hitter and power alternator on it, so just got to be careful of if anyone gains power, but again, if you're quaking properly, nobody really ever gets power. Speaking of quaking properly, we're going into this aggression, prowess, and mixed master Korg. He's not a high ground defender, so you can still quake it. Some people don't mind quaking Korg, other people struggle just because of the fact that he has some weird animations sometimes with his light attack. He's nothing like Nick Fury or Red Magneto, but he can still catch a few people off guard, especially if he goes unstoppable and unblockable. Or you're just not paying attention. At some point soon in this fight, you'll see I'm just not paying attention. I was just having a laugh with a lot of people while I was doing these war fights. Not really paying full attention, and I drop a heavy for no good reason whatsoever. Nowhere near Korg, nowhere near the end of a combo. And he punishes me for it with, is it like 4 hits I think or something? It should be coming up any moment. There you go. There you go. So that's it. Luckily tier 3, that's not going to drain all of your health off sort of thing, especially with it only being a rank 5 5-star. So still plenty of health to go, not even halfway down. For me, this is probably one of the weirdest placements that I've seen for a little while. Hyperion on power reserve and encroaching stun. I can kind of understand why someone would do it, just because of the fact that he's going to constantly either throw specials and sort of wait towards timer down, or he's just going to save himself to his special 3, and if he does throw any specials in the meantime, then he's obviously not losing his full power that he'd normally gain. But it's kind of just Doctor Doom food. You get the special 3 here first and foremost. You can do a lot of damage with this. You gain your Furies, you gain your Aura. As you can see from the timer, it was encroaching stun there. It was close anyway. So then I just made sure I was just about to go over to the point of the timer running out, throw the special 2, and Hyperion's already dead. Again, that's only a rank 5 Doctor Doom, unboosted, so I can't see why most people would use that as a placement option. And here, going on to Path 8, they've nerfed this node a lot. It used to be a lot more difficult for people to do, and they used to have to be a lot more confident Quake players to do I-bomb on this node because of the redoubled determination, but they've completely taken that node out of Alliance War for this season for whatever reason. I just felt like Quake was still by far the best option for it, especially with the heal block and the fact that any contact can pretty much put poison on you. So as you can see here, it's just a normal Quake fight, and yeah, that's about it. So as you can see here, we're going into another very, very common placement on Path 8, which is the Rich Get Richer node and the Weakness node, where you just need to throw specials. Venom's quite common on here, just because of the natural buffs he gets, but Doctor Doom, Black Widow, Clairvoyant, I think if you power start 1, Magic can also be used. Yeah, you just get your first one there, you can then just control their power and your power for the rest of the fight. Do the full Doom rotations just to make sure that obviously you clear the weakness off you, you can clear all his buffs off him, and you can just do some good damage in the meantime. Because like I said, even though I do have a rank 3 Doctor Doom, currently he's not duped at the minute, and he's on defense for us, so it's not like I could use him anyway. But Doom doesn't need to be duped for this node unless you come across someone like, I don't know, a Hyperion or something. It'd be best to do it. And he just makes it this simple. Venom's not really a tough fight on this node. So then we come up to this Dragon Man. This was one of the fights that I was talking about earlier when I said I wasn't quite sure who I was going to use yet, and I still had my pre-fight on Torch, and you can see here I'm looking at it going, should I, shouldn't I? I'm kind of to and fro-ing. Eventually I just decide no. Between myself and another member of the battle group, the Iron Man Infinity War that's on the Rage mini-boss, we were quite curious to see how that would go and how much health that had, just because of obviously hitting the Rage cap. And initially I said to use Cable. Max Limber caught me off guard here. I didn't expect someone at this tier to be running Max Limber, so I thought I could have taken the hit, taken the parry even, done one hit and then medium heavy attack even. But again, sadly that didn't work. So here I'm just trying to get him down. Dragon Man's not a tough fight, especially not for a Human Torch. There's some nodes where he's really good, but as you can see there, even without the pre-fight, it's pretty easy. In tier 3, these fights only have about 100k health, rather than tier 1 where they would have like 180, 200k. So it's much easier. And then you see here I'm just moving towards the mini-boss island. And that's my contribution. I wait until the next morning, I look at Iron Man Infinity War's health, and figure out that it's about 4k to be able to hit the Rage cap. And you see here, using my first item of the season, just use one quick potion there and a combat regen, just because I never really use them anyway. Apply Human Torches pre-fight, just for the extra damage on it. And yeah, Human Torch with a heavy attack shouldn't, or even a combo, doesn't normally ever tick over like 4k, 4.5k, even, especially unboosted and not with class advantage. So the Nova Flames is where all the damage is going to be coming from. So it's just going to be take my time, just let the power stings kill him really. We worked out in the end that Cable may have done it. It would have been close to the Rage cap in the end. We tested it against another tech champion. It was close to the cap, but it wasn't worth taking the risk. So we just made sure that we kept it nice and clean. As you can see there, I did hit it once to give Iron Man Infinity War a Fury buff, and now I'm just, whenever I can put power stings on, just trying to put them on. I just took them to special 1 energy like beams to the block, just to give me a few more smolders, just to increase Human Torch's damage that little bit more. And as you can see here, I'm not really doing anything special. I'm health up still from the combat regen boost. I'm he's 2/3 of the way down now. Just gotta watch out for that 15%. Taking out a special here, that drops him all the way down, and there you go, dead. So in terms of my war, that was my final contribution. We did end up winning the war, nice, so that's 2 wins and 1 loss for the season so far. Leaves us plat free. Thanks for watching.